for today's event, it's really simple when it comes to dolphins and whales. The reason why they capture these beautiful animals out in the sea is because there's a lot of money to be made off them being in captivity in so-called shows. So we have a lot more power in this particular movement than other ones, where if people stopped going to aquariums, dolphin shows, whale shows, anything related to marine mammals, marine animal shows, the demand would go down, and they would no longer have a reason to capture and find these animals. So I look at it as almost like a gateway drug, where if you don't know anything about veganism, you don't know anything about animal rights, but you care about these creatures, that you saw Blackfish or the Cove and you care, you can enter this movement through this issue by just not supporting this industry, putting this industry out of business, and then learning that we have a lot more power than we think we do. More recently, what's happened with whales is captive breeding, where they're doing less of capture out in the wild, but they're just breeding these poor creatures in captivity, so they never ever get to experience the wild. Usually they aim for the babies because they're trainable. So what they do is they separate the pods. They're called, the groups of them are pods. They separate the pods because the adults will protect them, and they want to capture the babies. And the goal is to find the ones that they see that might be attractive to an audience. The same thing with dolphins. In the dolphin hunt, they separate the dolphins based on what they would consider to be pretty dolphins, and the other ones are slaughtered. The whales aren't slaughtered, but they could die in the process.
They passed a law in 50 states. If you abuse an animal, you will get a felony. But why these people are not felons by now?
Well, the legal definition of abuse is a flexible definition, because you see it with human-to-human assaults and human-to-animal assaults. Theoretically, anybody that keeps an animal confined, let's say in a slaughterhouse, locked into a veal crate for X amount of months, feeds them a diet that they don't want to eat, and then slits their neck, by any normal definition, that's abuse. But by business definition, that's standard operating policy. So it's great that the law is passed, but what we need to do is have people view the concept of abuse differently, because as long as it's legal to kill a sentient being, then calling it abuse or not is almost meaningless.